Hey guys, I know what's here. This is going to be a review for Trinity 7, Chapter 60. On the websites, for some reason, they're like a chapter ahead for some reason, so when you click it, it'll be Chapter 61. I'm reading this off manga here. And so, yeah, this chapter is called Gate of the Divine Melody and Magic Book of Origin. And so, how this starts off is we're in this like temple looking place, and we're with Akasha, and she's having she's reading the stars, and she says, I am the one who reads the stars, I am the one that claims the stars, I am the one that intonates the stars. And you see her like slitting her wrist, which is kind of dark, to like do it. And she has a very, very not good premonition. So she awakens it, and she summons Ars Paulina, is what it says. It says, translation says, Ars Paulina is the lesser key of Solomon. It contains descriptions about angels and angel summoning. Third part of Limigan, Clavicula Solomonis, the lesser key of Solomon, translated. It contains, descriptions about angels and angel summoning. And then you see her thingy, and basically looks like pretty much it's that the Trinity 7 goes somewhere and they all die. And it says Arden, pretty much, is the way it looks. The thing is about this picture is I can't tell. I could see who is who, but Lilith looks really bad. And what I can't tell about her is whether her arms are gone or not. And so yeah, you see Lilith is they're all dead in this premonition. So you see Lilith, you see Yui, you see someone next to Yui holding her hand. Then you see Arda with like this huge sword stabbed into him, and then Akasha says, I see. She says, Guh. And then her eyes are like, one of her eyes is like bleeding, and she says, so that's the future of the Trinity 7, huh? Or maybe this isn't Akasha. And then Sora senses something, and Arda asks her what's wrong, and she says nothing. Or she plays it off, really. She didn't tell him, she just says, Master, today's katsudon is really good. She's like, she senses something wrong, but she like plays it off pretty much. And Arta's just like, really? Wait, I'll exchange it. And Sora says she'll exchange it for curry. And they're with Ilya, and he's like, yeah, sure. Ilya says, Fufu, Arta, and Sora are really close, right? Sora says, however, you also stabilized Master Magic, didn't you? Ilya says, that's right. It seems to be serious at first. And then Arta says, yeah. And he was unable to control his magic. And then Arta says, I knew very well how unfair was the Magic King element, though. Basically, I guess that anywhere he went, he was stripping people, is what it looks like. Pretty much the way they made that, like that flashback of his look is like anywhere he went, he'd strip people. And then, Lisa and Helena come over. One of them says, that's right, Art. Yes. Lisa says, all right, Articoon. And she says the Magic King element is something that quickly makes a mage more powerful. And she says, you understood that strength very well when I had it, don't you? Didn't you? It says doesn't you for some reason. Art says, right, Lisa had it too. And then Selena says, Sora is managing now, isn't she? Sora-san is managing now, isn't it? Sora says, yeah, it's completely under control. I completely controlled it along with Lug. Art says, honestly, what the heck? What is the Magic King element? And then everybody looks at him, or the two of them look at him shocked. And then Lisa's like, I see Darling was natural, wasn't it? Or Darling's was natural, wasn't it? And then someone says there was also the possibility of a Magic King element Sora says, making Master lose control just by confusing him or while speaking with him like now. And Arta says, really? So it was like that? Ilya says, now that you're properly studying a method to control your magic power, you might be okay. And then, Sora says, the Magic King element can extract the power of the dimension on the other side of Dante's gate, in quotation marks. And at its depths lays the true Magic King that Master has to meet, which Arta is basically got to meet. We go to Dante's gate, and there's someone walking up to it, and it's this older looking version of Sora, and this knight comes out, like this giant armored knight looking guy appears, and the older looking Sora says, will you go recover your manuscript? So the knight guy says it. Will you go to recover your manuscript, Radix Astil? And apparently this person's name is Radix Astil. She says, yes, leader of the 12 magic generals, Lakota-sama. So that's the knight's name. To which the Radiax says, my other me shouldn't be under a Magic King's candidate that lost his powers care. There are still 300 nights left before Dante's gate opens in the current world. I understand that, however, it is my master's destiny. In other words, she's gonna go get Sora back early, basically, is what she's getting at. And she says, if that's the case, it can't be helped. Thank you for your worries, and I am leaving them. And then she warps away. Then we go to Akio, Mira, and Levi, and they're meeting with the headmaster because they got called on. And Levi asks, calling us three, is it for combat, headmaster? He says, headmaster says, as expected, yes. You're very perceptive, Levi-chan. He says, Biblia says, although there are still 300 days before Dante's gates opens, an enemy might come during that time. Mira says an enemy, and then Akio punches her hand like she normally does, says, oh, will they attack again? And Mira says, their objective will be Artisan after all, right? And especially now that he has lost his Magic King element, even though he's living peacefully. And then Mira, she's wearing glasses, so she does that, like a librarian person, and she says, Headmaster, we'll go meet the enemy. And then she says that the current them have improved considerably after the final battle of magic research. If it's the current us, we can equally face any opponent. Biblia says, oh, for Mira-chan to say it like that. Levi says, do you know when will the enemy be coming? And then, it was Liebel that did the prediction at the beginning of the chapter, sorry. He says, Biblia says, well, yes, Liebel-chan has made a perfect prediction that should be appearing at the school soon. And then Akio said, Headmaster Liebel, she's not planning something again, right? And he's just like, how would I know? Liebel is coming after all. And then I think Mira says, I think the headmaster should not say that. I think that was Mira anyway that said that. And then they depart with Mira saying, well then let's pair ourselves. Levi says, okay. And he says, I'm counting on you, please. And Akio says, sure. He smiles, and they go to the gate thing, and someone's like, wow, Mira, you're really serious. I think it's Akio. Yeah, Akio says, if the chief is this eager, I wonder if I'll get a turn. We'll get a turn. And Mira says, carelessness is forbidden, Akio. We can't underestimate an enemy going after Artisan. Akarasha Academy's attack in the final battle of the magic research case we fell behind. And so Akio says, hey, this time I'll properly do my best without holding back. Levi says she'll do her best too. And then crack opens up in the sky, and they're all shocked. Or Mira's like, it's here. And then they see the Radix, and they basically say, she said, Radix says, confirming error in coordinates. I was invited here, huh? And then Levi's like, she looks just like Soros, Astil's man, and then she cuts herself off. Says Astil's manuscript, and Mira says even the magic power qualifies to show that she's a grimoire as well. But this, and then yeah, sorry about that. And then Radix says her name. She says, "I am Radix Astil. You know Astil's manuscript's origins. I came here to recover the manuscript." And then the attacker, someone, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Mira attacks her. She said, Radix says, a Gina scope barrier, huh? Seems like my coming has been foretold. And then Mira's like, recover source on why. And then Radix is just like nonchalantly like, I'll answer you. I'm the key for the Magic King's resurrection. For my master's revival, it is necessary to cover the manuscript. And then Levi and Akio, or Levi says Magic King's resurrection, and you see them like remember something, and you can't notice who they are. So I think it might be Anna or Lilith, not Lilith, but it might be Anna or Akasha. And Mira says, "What if our son will take her? Rescue take her?" And she just basically says, "Then I'll kill him." Basically, she says obstacles will be eliminated. And then Mira says, the Magic King candidate is an obstacle. And Radix says, yes, the Magic King candidate is just a vessel for her master's resurrection. And then she gets this really evil like smile, says, a Magic King candidate that lost his magic element is useless and unnecessary for my master. And we see Mira like kind of despairing. Levi says, surprisingly, you told us a lot. And basically, she just says, basically, Radix says, I'm a grimoire. If I'm asked information, it is my duty to give it. And then Akio says, I see, so you answer anything. So you'll answer anything. And then, yeah. She said, one of them said, I think it's Akio says, and if we say we'll lock you up in this place, and then Radix says, then I'll dispose of you, of course. And then Akio says, is that so? And then Mira says, thanks for answering. And Radix says, no problem, very well. And then Mira's like, yes. And they both say, here I come. And so the battle begins. Radix does something with the ground. No, she destroyed Mira's barrier. Like, really easily. She just moved her hand from the look of it. And Akio says, however, we were expecting that as well. And then someone goes quiet. And Radix says, two combat type mages and a true mage. And Levi attacks her. Ninja art, chain binding shadow threads. And then she says, Toe Mokurin. And then, yeah. Akio kicks at her, kicks at Radix. And then Mira uses White Universe. And then Radix doesn't even phase. She looks like she didn't even get touched, pretty much, just from the look of it. Then all of a sudden, Levi uses Shadow Clones, pretty much. Which, yeah, so Radix is shocked for a second because there's three Levies all of a sudden, and then Levi uses Ninja Art Shadowless Slash. And then, yeah, Radix says this is a mage killing technique, and Levi says that's right. Levi says hidden technique, Aija slash, and it cuts, and then she literally cuts freaking Radix in half. Or cuts Radix's head off, actually, is what she did. And then all of a sudden, Levi goes to attack again, and then you hear this like demonic sounding. The way the text looks like this demonic voice. It says like, enshrouded by the eternal fire, I call you from the limits where there's no life and death. Inferno Purgatorio. Basically mean, obviously, if you can read that, it basically means Infernity Purgatorio. Yeah. Blazing Purgatory is, I'm guessing what that means. Like, Inferno Purgatory. So yeah, then what would have been Levi when she goes to attack her again, you see this like basically burning Levi, and then it's like they all yell. Mira and Akio yell Levi-san, and what would have been Levi is like scorched to the point of nothing. If that was the real Levi, but she just barely makes it out of it. As we find out this page, Levi's just like, that was close, and Mira's like, body replacement technique, huh? And then Akio says, this is no time to relax, Chief. And yeah. And then you just see Radix's head just appear again, like instantly. And then Levi says, I don't know the vital spots of a grimoire. Akio says she's dangerous even if she loses her head. And then Radix says, let me show you a part of the magic from which I'm called a legendary grimoire. And then she makes this giant magic circles, and then all of a sudden, it's like a nuke went off. See Levi look up, and then there's Levi and Mira. Levi and Mira and Akio are looking up. There's a magic circle above them and below them. All of a sudden, like under that panel, you see a flash, and then Radix says, Tiferet, and it says sacred pillar of the beautiful star. And basically, there's just like the academy is like shining, and then you can't really tell what happened, but it looks like the ground was completely destroyed, and then there's just like this huge like explosion basically. And that's chapter. So yeah, it was a good chapter. Like, comment, subscribe. Sorry this is really long, but yeah, it was a good chapter. I give it an 8 out of 10, and I'll see y'all next time.